What's up, everybody? How's it going today? We got podcast number 3 going today. It's gonna be a good one. Foons and Blast here.
Blaze.
Hey,
Blaze.
Hi.
Oh, I'm
Blaze,
such a bad
Blaze,
person. I'm a bad person. I'm so sorry.
don't mix me with Blast, please. We're not on the same level. I am way above him.
Yeah, my bad. No, that's actually a huge mess up. Sorry. I apologize, Blaze. My bad.
What's up? Okay. All right. So this is gonna be our third podcast now. The first two went really well, and we got two more new guests here today. These two guys, I'm sure that you face them in the arena. Blaze is the Iron Man King, and Foons is the King of the Hammer. You guys want to introduce yourselves, tell them where you're from or whatever? Blaze, you start her off.
I start first.
Yep.
Hello, everybody. My name is Blaze. Many people know me as a main Iron Man player, and I'm here today because Chad invited me, and I want to talk with you about many things that are going on in the game. Actually, some meta changes and other stuff.
Yeah.
That's it. Let's go, Foons. It's your turn.
Yes. So I'm Foons. I've been playing since global launch as Hammerhawk. I've got all my characters 1250, and it's good to be here today.
Thanks for coming. All right, we're going to jump into the first point here. What do you guys think of the state of the game, like how everything's going right now? We just had the Arena Conquest tournament last weekend. It was a lot of fun. I know you guys smashed a lot of people and came in first place. And what do you guys think of how the game's going right now?
In my opinion, the game is in a transition situation. I mean, actually, it's stuck. You know what I mean? There are plenty of things going on. Actually, in my opinion, I think Kabam is working on a lot of stuff, but I don't see a bright future for the game soon. If Kabam can do something, it could they can do it in 5 months, 6 months. I don't think that we're gonna have something big before the summer because I think probably they have already a new character ready. I hope so. I hope that they will release Thor. But actually they are stuck. The game is stuck, completely stuck.
Yeah, I've heard them say April is going to be 3.0 launch, and 3.0 is supposed to have Thor. So
yeah,
Wait till April.
April seems like the next major change. So does that mean the first week of April or the last week of April? Because that's a big difference. Yeah.
It's like a month different.
Yeah, I mean, a new character will be good, but actually, it's not enough, in my opinion. I would like to have a new game mode, different events, a lot of stuff.
Mhm.
I think that a new character will not be enough, especially for the top players, for the big dogs. Actually, me and Foons probably, and you guys also are gonna be 1250 with Thor in 1 week. So after 1 week, we're done.
Maybe two.
Maybe 2, but yeah.
Don't worry, don't worry. You will play with me, and we will get there in 1 week. So after the first week, we are done. GG. So like now, actually, we're hopping on game, doing world quest, or we're doing events and stuff like that. Easy win because don't want to flame, but Smash is way behind. And
No.
don't want to flame. I love them. I love it. I made peace with all of them. I love the guys of Smash, Leia, Spider
The
X.
one
But
thing
actually,
I did like, they made World Quest significantly harder. I mean, I know a lot of us were complaining they did have to nerf it, but like we were asking for hard content. Boy, did they give us it. I know Gate spent 3 or 4 hours minimum, a lot of us trying to get it done. So that was fun. It was fun. It was something new. I mean, it sucked you couldn't beat it at all. So it was nice they nerfed it. But it was fun for a couple hours trying to figure it out.
A couple people got close.
Yeah, Zimba and Noms. They had their Panthers going, and they were with Avenge, I think, with his Storm.
Yeah, they got to 7, but they couldn't beat it.
I actually was playing with phones, and we used to wipe at 6-on-7. So and
Yeah,
at the
it was
sixth
close
stage
to
because
six,
of the time. That's
That's what they were
different.
saying too. The
Yep.
time.
The time, because of the
It was-
time.
Yeah, it was unbeatable because they didn't add like extra minute
Yeah.
when you finish the wave 4 and 5.
Mhm.
So yeah, and wave 4 and 5 were already difficult, especially if number 5 with all the little critters coming around you.
All those little guys.
And,
And every time
yeah,
you hit them, they go flying backwards. Oh my god.
that as well.
Yes.
Yeah. And then with some of these monsters, I don't know what was happening, but even like my whole got even one shot at some of them.
Yeah, man.
I like
So,
the
yeah,
I
it
like
was-
the mechanics.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
Yeah,
it
it
was
was- it
fun.
was
I mean,
fun.
a bit of challenging is, what we needed, and it was really fun. And now, yeah, they've nerfed it a bit down. It's still, pretty difficult. I can understand like a lot of new players are struggling with it. So, yeah, I hope some other players can help them out.
I got it in 3 tries, or like the 3 tries, or whatever you want to call it. Like 1 try for each character. But my
Mhm.
teammates, some of them died. So I had to go back through and redo it.
We had the same problem.
Yeah.
Like some of our we were good, but like with my Panther wasn't strong. So like if any newer players like need help, like don't be afraid to hit up some of the bigger guilds, get on Discord, like be like,
Yeah.
yo, I need help doing this. Like we will help you guys. Like we want you guys to get those rewards. So
Yeah. And it's actually fun to play.
Yeah.
Doesn't
Yeah,
take
it's
long.
a
Yeah.
good mechanics. I like the mechanics. I would like to have a different kind of difficulty. I mean, what I mean is, I don't want the mobs or the I don't know, the monsters that are inside the arena to smash you with one shot. But I would like to have a different and harder game mechanic that's way different, because you can phase an hard game mechanic, but you can't phase a mob that one shots you. So
Yeah.
it's different. Yeah. So give
on
me
that point, ahead,
sorry.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
give me an harder mechanics, but don't give me a mob that I can't beat. Actually, that's
sure.
all.
Well, that's what I liked about the game, how the SS guys, I don't know what else to call them, they were spawning the little guys.
We called the builders, my team.
Oh, the builders. Okay,
It's
we were
the build
calling them
guys.
the SS guys. So the ones that were building the little guys, I liked the strategy that like you had to go in and kill them first, and you had to know
Yeah.
to kill them first, and
Hunt them down.
I
What
would
do you
like
think of this?
to. I would love to give a mashup between the first word quest and the second one. So if you give this, how you call it, build guys, how did you call them?
Yeah,
SS,
the
yeah.
summoners or
That-
whatever.
Yeah.
Those things, maybe a melee resistancy or a range resistancy. So you can hit them only with the melee or only with the range attacks. It would be harder, actually, way
Yeah.
harder.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's what they have to improve. Kabam has to improve this game mechanics, mix the
strategy
things up.
harder.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, make the
I liked how
strategy
you couldn't
harder.
kill the boss before you killed all the little guys. That was cool. You
Yeah,
couldn't kill
that
the Iron
that
Man
was
before all the
great.
little guys were dead. Yeah. that
Yeah,
was
That was
very
they
great.
mixed it up as well with the resistance, so that
Yeah.
Storm had to, use their attacks on a specific character.
Yeah.
And then, you had your melee characters who had to, kill the monsters that had the energy resistance. So, it is fun to do. And I like the strategy that they put into it, the effort and, just the thought behind it.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
They need to be doing more things like that for sure. Do you guys also think that things like that can help newer players kind of learn team comps? Because they're like forcing you to use specific characters. And I found like they used 1 CC range kind of with the Storm, and then 1 DPS melee, and then 1 tank. You know what I mean? Like it kind of helps people lower level learn like how to run a
Yeah,
team kind
sure,
of.
sure, 100%. Yeah. The new guys can figure out what's a specific character has to do. Like for example, Storm has 2 CC. Black Panther became. We see that he's such a tank right now. He's very huge. with the
Yep.
synergy on the chest is crazy. Actually, I have all my my Black Panther is all with the yellow synergy, and it's a crazy tank. Only with the SP2, I had over 50% of my life covered with shield, so it became immortal. And yeah, it helps them to figure out better what's a specific character has to do inside the comp.
Mhm.
That's the most
Yeah,
important thing.
because the bots don't quite attack you like a regular person, so it lets you have a
Yeah.
little bit more leeway.
Mhm.
Yeah. At the first time, I figured out that it wasn't the smartest thing to go to tank with the Hulk, because actually in that situation, with many mobs against us, Black Panther was the right choice to tank the damage also,
Mhm.
because you're
I
getting
think
the
that-
shield. Yeah, the shield with SP1, the shield with the right synergies on the chest.
Yeah, I just want to say that you needed the right synergies for it for
Yeah,
sure, though, because it made
I
it
can't
tough if
remember
you
the
didn't have
name.
the.
What's the name of the synergy? Blood in the water, something like that.
Blood in the water is when you crit, you get a shield.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the
that
best
one, that one.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
you needed that one for that event, like
Yeah.
especially when it was the hard one before they nerfed it. If you didn't have that synergy, your Panther just got eaten alive, like
Yeah,
right away.
and
Yeah.
also your Hulk. So what you have to do to make better, to do better in the first before the nerf, was to let Black Panther go ahead, and then Hulk has to follow with the storm. But yeah, it was crazy hard.
Oh yeah.
Boons, what do you think of the state of the game right now? And then we'll switch over topics here.
I think at the moment it's very focused on existing players. I think like if you have new players, they're gonna have a hard time like getting good gear and just to have the characters and like to have a certain battle rating.
Yes.
Especially like you could even see like with Blaze, he still had like an R2 cap. There was no Catalyst 2, that he had to, or was it Catalyst 3?
Yeah,
I'm
there's
not
a couple
sure,
people
but
stuck at that. Yeah.
yeah, they
Yep.
don't put
Yeah.
enough of them, in the game. So, for them, it's like, they have to wait a long time before they can finally have all the heroes, on the R3. And we all know that R3 makes a big difference in compared to
Oh,
R2.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's the only way into Defender, pretty much.
Like you
Yeah.
can get in for sure, but to try to get a 1250, I know there's a few people, but like I mean, like y'all got to be honest. If you have an R2 champion at 1250, y'all got pretty hard carried.
Yeah, definitely. And now
Yeah,
especially
yeah,
like,
it's true. It's true.
yeah, especially
You
when they
have
have now
to.
they have now the alliance events on. So when you have to grind for your points, because if you play with your alliance teammate, you get each person gets like 25 points. So yeah,
Yes.
you will see a lot of 1250s on, and if you don't have like a 1250 character like fully geared and stuff like that, you're gonna have a hard time when you're gonna play around that time.
Yeah, I
Because
feel like it's
there'll
gonna
be a
push
lot of
people off the weekends
yeah,
because there's
definitely.
gonna be all of us running around, us, Smash, Riot, like
All on our mains too.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, because
We just played on
everybody's
our
there.
mains for 2 hours.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
everybody's out there just to win games and gain points
Mhm.
for the alliance, because everybody wants to have better gear. I mean, it's not
Yes.
gear, but it's shards. And with those shards you can create better gear, and it's just competitive. And yeah, that's
So-
why it's just at the moment it's just for a quest, the hard one. Yeah, the heroic. That is just also for people like on a higher level. If you have like on the medium tier and you don't have all those synergies, you're gonna have a struggle. You're struggling.
Yeah. I
Oh
agree.
yeah.
A thing I was talking about with Cheda, and we've talked about a couple times, but like I don't know why the game already split it up into so many servers when there's so few of us. I feel it would have been better to leave it as a global server and then to divvy up servers as more people join the game, because like me and the last 2 nights we've tried to play at 6 a.m. There is literally not one person on.
No, it was only like 3 something.
Oh yeah, it was only like 3:30.
And we were just getting matched up against people who were solo queuing with 2 bots.
yeah.
And we were on all 1250s.
And then we had no matches for 9 minutes, so 3 rotations, and then we saw another gate team because we were the only ones on. So it was they should have kept the servers as
We
one.
had to have a civil war.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
even then, when you take all servers together, it's still not a lot of people playing because the biggest population is just the USA server. Because me and
Yeah.
Blaze, we always play on AU, and you're waiting for minutes to find a game. So
Mhm.
even if
Yeah.
the EU will always be on USA, it will not be a lot of people playing around because there was in the beginning you had like a large population, but you're gonna get stomped down every time by teams who already have like full geared. And I remember in the beginning when everybody had only one choice of like upgrading a hero to R3. Yeah, you have to play on that
Yes.
specific hero. Remember that time? Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Oh yeah.
yeah, and
Yeah.
there were people out there who were already like 1250. So they had already access to like a crystal, epic crystal from the 1150 battle rating and the 1251. And
Mhm.
yeah, that is already like you get a rare gear or epic gear. And that is like having a good piece out of that. It's a bit is a little bit of an advantage against players who
Mhm.
haven't reached that stage yet.
For sure.
yeah.
Like I've noticed I just recently pushed a couple champs up to 1250 like in the last like 2 weeks, and like the amount
Yeah.
of gear you get is actually crazy, and it's good gear. Like I mean some of it's crap, like obviously you get crap too.
Yeah, sometimes you get bad synergies.
But I mean
Bad
like
rolls.
overall I was like, wow, like this is I just like improved my gear and all my champions like so easily just by getting these milestones. But it's tough to get those milestones.
Actually, I
Yeah.
don't understand the way they're doing the things because let's suppose that we started to play 1 month ago. 1 month. I'm not saying January or December. Let's suppose I started to play half February. Okay, I have no T2 materials to get to rank 3. So what I do? Once I get defender, I start to get melt. I start
Oh yeah.
to die.
Yeah, that's
I played
actually
my cup.
horrible.
Yeah, I played my cup at rank 2, and I can tell you that bringing it to 1250, it it was crazy hard because
Think how
you
good
get.
you are, right?
I
Like think
mean,
about people just starting.
I I had good teammates. I played with Phones, with Zimba, with Renzo, with all the best guys in Gate. So, but you have to understand that even if you are a rank 2, you have to do your job. You have to connect
Yep.
your ultimate well, your stun well, and you gotta. It's harder for you because you gotta do it without getting melt. Because one single ability and you are 30% HP, like you are
Yep.
dead.
Mhm. So your
So
skill to play R2 has to jump immensely. So you're asking new players to be above skill level, people who have been playing for months,
I
and
don't
you're
think
not
that
giving
a
them
new
anything.
player
It
can
can't
do
happen.
it. They
Yeah.
Yeah.
can't do it. They can't. They
I
It's
don't
can't.
really
think I could.
difficult for them to progress at the
No.
moment.
To be honest, I don't think they can. You can't. You can do it with an Iron Man, with the rank 2. You can do it with a Storm
Yeah,
because
'cause you
you
stay
can
back a lot.
stay. Yeah, you step
Mhm.
back a lot. You stay far away. It's easier. But with a Cap, Black Panther, Spider-Man, or others, it's crazy hard. It's impossible to do. And why then they don't bring the teaching materials in the World Quest? Why then
Yeah, they
they
need to
don't
get on
bring?
that actually, that tier 2 material stuff. That's
It's all
crazy.
also another thing. Games like these are money-based game, so you can pay to win. Okay, actually, why should I pay? If I'm a new player, why should I invest money in this game? I get into the game. I can't
Exactly.
bring my character to rank 3. I can buy tons of units. I get gear that I can't use. So why should
Yeah.
I invest
That's
money on the game? So they are slowly let the game die. I
Yeah.
see
Blaze, I
this.
didn't ever think of how much that was affecting new players. That is huge. That they need to get on that.
I think through the
You need new
milestones you
players.
can get
Through the
2 or
miles.
3 characters to R3, right?
But still, that's only 2 or 3.
Yeah, I
Like,
know.
if you want to enjoy the
Yeah.
game, that's tough. They do need to make it more available. But that is a good
But it's
point, Cheddar. You are right. At least they can get 1 or 2, maybe 3
Yeah,
rank
I
3
forgot
players.
about
But
that. I forgot about that. I forgot about the milestone. Yeah.
But
yeah.
still, like what, 2 characters or 7?
and then they're buffing and nerfing them all the time, which I
Well,
understand. But you're buffing and nerfing, so sometimes your best champ just now becomes the worst. So maybe you want to switch champs, and you don't have the materials to do it.
Yeah, this is another key factor of the discussion that we can have about the nerf, because they never balance well the character. I don't know if you read my post on Reddit about Iron Man. It's
I did.
completely unbalanced. Yeah, it's completely unbalanced. And we're talking about Iron Man. That's actually is one of the best probably into the game. He's a meta actually. I wouldn't say is the best, but is in top 5. Okay, so we are talking about a character that has to be balanced, but is not
Yeah,
actually.
he does a
So
lot of DPS, but it's just
it's
the one
squishy.
synergy is out of balance.
Yeah, you need the right build synergies to make it work. Otherwise, you're dead. You're fresh meat.
All right, let's switch this up. We'll talk about how to build some team comps here to help out some of the newer players. So generally with most types of games like this, you got to have a tank, right? And
Yeah.
then 2 DPS. That normally works out fairly well. Also, another good thing to have in your team comp is some type of CC. Whether it comes from the tank or it comes from the DPS, it doesn't really make a difference. But
Yeah,
got to
sure.
have a good type of CC. Actually, some people might not know what CC is. It's crowd control. So stuns, freezes, roots, slows, anything that can get them off their game. Actually, Windstorm's got the pull thing and the push thing, so she's like totally different. But
I really like that form of CC, by the way. That crowd control is nice. I think Windstorm is going to become more and more meta as more and more people play with her.
Actually, I saw, in my opinion, the best Storm player is Avenge. We know it.
of course,
I love to play with him. I loved his Ice Storm. Actually, I still love his Ice Storm. I can't fall in love with the Windstorm. I'm sorry. It's my fault, of course, but I don't love it. To play it, I hate playing Storm. It's okay, but I don't like it even in my team. To be honest, actually, as a crowd control, I prefer Spider-Man. He's
He's
yeah, he's the
overpowered.
overpowered right now.
yeah, he's the top dog out there, and nobody can take. Nobody is on the same level. He's
Mhm.
too much actually. I know that Foons love to play with Spider-Man. You should ask
I
him
became
this.
Spider-Man main.
Me?
Yeah,
Uh,
he's
So, Foons,
loving
what do you
Spider-Man.
think some good team comps are?
Like how to build a team comp.
Well, I think any team can work if you have like at least one CC character in your team, and then at least one tank. I think that is pretty important right now. But it's not only about teams these days. It's also about how you play the game at the moment, because because the first patch was different than the patch we are in now. With the healings
Yes.
being nerfed on SS, so you can't rely on that anymore. And the MODOK change, and the people learned how to keep watch on the health orbs, because that didn't happen before. You couldn't see them spawn when they were gonna come.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah, so that's a good increase. So it made aware like, okay, health orbs are also in the game, and it's pretty like if you control your health orbs, you pretty control like the game and the match what you're playing in.
Mhm.
I think like in every single game, it's important to have good positioning, because sometimes like you see people walking around all over the map, and for example, you have like a tank who is engaging a team versus 3 people, while their DPS is standing somewhere in the back, and they are not
Mhm.
there to cover him. So why are you then taking damage if you're the tank? It doesn't make sense. So yeah, that is a different when you are engaging as well, like when you have your ults up, and you CC, and back up your team.
Yep, for sure. That's the most important thing. Every team kind of has a person that's going to engage the enemy and start the fight. A
Yes.
lot of the times it's Falk.
But I find
s-
Panther's taking that role a lot
Panther
right
can do it.
now.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Spider-Man can also be the engage. He engages with the root, and then other people come and claps on top, right?
Mhm.
And then the thing with the Modoc. So when, for example, when one of your teammates has died, you have to make a decision. Okay, are you gonna go back and defend your Modoc, or you're gonna stay there and try to kill the enemy team? So that's a
Mhm.
decision you have to make. And sometimes it might be better
Sometimes
just to
counter.
pull back. Yeah, it might be better just to retreat and defend your Modoc,
Yeah,
because
I agree.
if you still have above 50% health, it will mean they are not able to one-shot you after they have taken the round. So
Yep.
with that, you can do a lot of things. So you can, for example, because the target system right now, for example, for range is hard. You are mostly like with Iron Man or Spider-Man. They mostly, if you are an attacker and you are attacking the Modoc, if there's a defender standing in front of you, your target is automatically attacking the one who's standing in front of the Modoc and not the Modoc anymore.
Mhm.
So
Yes.
yeah, that is a trick to defend your Modoc pretty good. And also for the ones who are defending, what I see a lot of times is they are doing a lot of damage, to the ones who are attacking the Modoc, but sometimes also killing that person. And I don't understand why, because that person is going to respawn in like 9 seconds. So you're still there
Yeah.
with then 3 people. So it's better
You're
to
better
just
to let
leave
them
that
live
person.
with a little
Yeah,
bit. Yeah.
it's better to just let them live with a bit of health, so that at least for the next round you can take them down, because they have already like a one person who has less health.
Mhm.
Yep. Yeah, and you
Yeah,
take them down to get the zone to shrink.
we call
Yes.
him tunnel vision. We call him tunnel vision in Italy. It's when you are too much focused on the game to perform well, do better, that you don't figure out what's the best thing to do in that situation. So you stay there, you keep hitting, you're doing your rotation of your character, the right abilities, but you don't understand what's going on around you. So it's tunnel vision,
Yes.
and it's the most common mistake that many players do, even at high levels.
Yeah.
Like you're doing that, but while I'm talking, I'm thinking about the bullshit guy. That's Zimba. He does that. Yeah, he stay in the middle. He wants to do
There's a
one versus
lot of
three.
people that do it a lot because you get in your game and you're screwing someone up, and then you don't realize what's going on over here. Sometimes is actually a
Yeah,
better position for you to be in, right? You think
yeah,
you're
Yeah.
right.
doing well, but you could be doing better somewhere else.
Yeah, just step back, wait, kill them, hit them
Yeah.
near the ball, then don't kill them, and then you jump on them after that they get punched away. You know,
Mhm.
you
Yep.
get a very very good advantage by that situation.
Because it's
Actually,
usually a 2v run through right away, and you're at full health. Or sorry, 3v2 right away, and you're at full health. Versus there are 2 people. So
Yeah, and the other guy has to
Yeah.
he essentially has to
yeah,
run.
yeah.
most of the time. So if you're good, you can damage all of them.
Yep.
Like
Yeah, you
as
switch
example,
targets after you knock one down a little.
yeah, you get an advantage. You drop a round to win the next, and if you're good to do that, you can easily win the game. Like you
Mhm.
win
Yep.
the first round, you let them get the second, you win the third, you're done.
Yep. And sometimes even on your defend, you can make it so that they need 3 captures and you can win with 2 captures.
Yep.
So it
Yeah,
works out really good sometimes.
So you guys are
yeah,
thinking, as long as you have a tank and a CC and you play it right, you can pretty much win. So it's really good, like all the way around, pretty much right now, because there's so few characters. That's just kind of who can play the meta right, play their skills right, be in the right positioning.
Well, right now there's kind of 3 tanks with how good
Panther.
BP has been for tanking.
yeah. Actually, this meta can't be played without a tank. You
Yeah.
can't play this meta without a tank. You need a tank. As long as
Mhm.
it's Cap, is Hulk, BP, we can consider BP a tank. And
Kind of
With the
works.
yeah,
synergies, yeah.
yeah, with the right synergy, of course. But yeah, you can't play without tank. You get destroyed. You get deleted because
Outpoked
this
for
is a
sure.
full aggro. Yeah, this is a full aggro meta. Full aggro. They jump
Yeah.
on your head. They try to kill you immediately. You can't run away because the circle is closer.
Shrinking.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I'm fucked with Iron Man. I used to run with my drones around the map, smashing people from the long side. Now I can't do that anymore. Yeah, I have to adapt myself with the lasers. Otherwise,
Actually,
That's why you got Foons, so Foons will hang out in the middle
I
for you.
was gonna say I found
Yeah.
that a lot as he's saying that as Iron Man. I play out of the zone a lot, actually.
yeah, you can't. Actually, you can't. Yeah, that's why I
Yeah,
play
it
with
screwed us
Fools.
over a
I
couple
let him
times.
go inside the middle of the arena, and I stay around. And he does his
course.
job, and I do my
You
job
can
around. Right?
you can do your cheerleading, right?
I
But yeah, I
stay
think
there.
it's very important. The Modok thing is very important. It's game changing,
Yeah.
especially like if you win a round, yeah, and you are able to attack the Modok, and you see like one of them has like an early spawn. It might be wise to just retreat, because that
Yeah.
person is gonna maybe do a lot of damage to you, and that means you're out there with like half health, and that might be an advantage for them to take that round because yeah, that's already an advantage if you are on low health. You can take down really quickly the enemy team, and then they have more time to hit your Bodog.
For sure.
They fixed many things about the Modok attacking. I
Yeah.
saw that because 1 week ago, when I was trying to hit the Bodok with the drones, with the heavy attack of drones with Iron Man, I used to do 75 damage, something like that.
Yeah,
Then
they
when I
nerfed
hit
it.
with the light attack, it was over 120. So they nerfed, but now it's back because they understood that it was a stupid things to do.
Oh, it's back? Because I was
Yeah,
doing
it's
my
back.
laser on it, and I was only ticking for like 61 a second on the boat, or like 61 a tick on the Bodok. And that
Actually,
was only
they
last night.
nerfed the damage of the abilities, like
Yes.
SP1,
Yeah,
SP2,
okay,
They
yeah.
nerf the skills.
They
But the
used
light
to
attack
nerf.
is still.
They also used to nerf the heavy attack of drones, so the rockets. It was
Oh,
nerfed
okay.
also, yeah. But now it's back. I threw a couple
Oh,
of rockets on the Bodok last day, and I did over 20, a
Yeah.
ton of damage. I can't even remember how much I did. So
They never
they
nerfed Hulk's heavy. I know that one because
yeah,
I'm
they
using heavy
didn't.
the
They didn't.
base.
They didn't
So
nerf Spidey's heavy either. But I mean, Iron Man's rocket heavy is insane. It can do crazy damage.
Hulk actually, I mean, along with Spider-Man, is the one that deals more damage to the structure, to the Bullock, actually.
Mhm.
Hulk
Yeah.
does.
Yeah,
Hulk, yeah. Hulk and Spidey are crazy for it.
it seems
Yeah.
like crushing damage. Really good.
And I still I see people trying to use the SP3 of the lasers on the Bodok. Guys, don't do that anymore. Every time you do that, you stab my heart. Please stop doing that. Don't hit the Bodok with the fucking SP3 of lasers because you do not damage. So please stop.
Yeah, you only tick for 61 a second. I did it last night. It is nothing. You can light attack for way more and you waste your ult.
Yeah, go light attack, go heavy attack, do whatever you want, but don't use the SP3 there.
All right. Let's move on to the next subject here. How to build the champions. So I know some champions are more about the substats, and some champions are more about the synergies. Maybe you guys could shed some light on that.
Yeah, let's start with the Hulk. That's the harder. I mean, in my opinion, is the harder to build up. So Foons should say what's
Yeah.
the best way to build up him.
Yeah. How you build up Hulk there, Vince?
So because yeah, Hulk has two different weapons. You can play with a hammer or you can play with the gauntlets, right? So with the gauntlets, I think is wise to build like a lot of armor and health regen, because the damage output I know is totally different than one with the hammer. Obviously, you can still use the gamma, the wrecking Hulk. I think wrecking Hulk on the pants, and then have that dodge roll, and then have that synergy, and do some damage. But still, like a Gauntlet Hulk, you should be tanky because mostly is just only usable for like waiting for this S3, and that S3 is a game changer. If you plan that right, you
Oh, yeah.
can eliminate the team. Yeah, and if he's really like bulky and tanky, you just don't want to face a Hulk like that. So I think, yeah, that's a way to really build like one of the Gauntlet Hulks. With the Hammer Hulk, yeah, it's different because yeah, you need to have a damage output. So I would choose the what's it called? The synergies for the Wrecking Hulk, again, the gamma synergy, and then the crushing power is important, and then have a bit of
Crushing
armor.
targets.
Yeah, have a bit of armor, health regen, or any health, just to make him a bit more tanky, because he's not a far away DPS. He has to come in close and just to deal with damage, and that's where he has to have a bit of tankiness to withstand some damage from the enemy.
Yeah, as a hammer, he's like a brawler.
Yeah.
It's like a tank brawler.
Yes. And
I know.
yeah, sorry.
Oh, go.
Yeah, so and then when that Hulk with the hammer, mostly, if he's on low health, he deals a lot more damage. And that's actually what you want. You want people to hit you, and that you come on close, and then can deal your spin attack, and deal some light attacks, and then hoping that your teammates can back you up with any CC, so like a root or like a freeze, so that your Hulk can just deal out that amount of damage. And it's the same with the Gauntlet, obviously. Like if you have a root, you can just jump in with your S3 because it makes them an easier target, and then punch them to the wall, and try to nuke one down so that you can focus on the two leftovers, or one enemy left, whatever you want to do.
Yeah. I hate Fist Hulk. I always get jumped on.
I find with the gauntlets too, it's really important to save that SP2 for an interrupt. So that you can be there if, like, I know SS isn't as popular, but if there's an orb, if there's a laser or something, it's really nice to have that SP2 to stop it.
Yep.
Yeah. Actually, Iron Man is a good counter for Hulk, in my opinion. If built up in the right way, with the laser, you can hurt Hulk a lot. I've seen with my Hulk that's not as good as Foon's Hulk. I've seen a lot of Iron Man jumping and using the SP2 with a lot of damage. So uh, it's a good point to I can link with him talking about Iron Man, actually. Iron Legionnaire, the situation about Iron Legionnaire is kind of obvious. I mean, you want a full re-entry set, of course, full re-entry
Mhm.
for the lasers build. With the drones, it changed a little bit because personally I like to mix up and I use 3 re-entries and 2 reactor overload sets. So the arc
Yes.
charges, yeah. I use the arc charges for the breastplate and for the shoulders,
Shoulders?
actually. Yeah, the shoulders actually. But I also would like to test the head with the one that gives you the
The
increased
quick start
amount of.
chance?
Yeah, I don't remember the name. The name is reinforced arc chasing. That's the one that increases the duration of the arc charges. Because I want
Okay.
to use the shoulder re-entry shoulder. That's really huge. And I think that's really interesting is the situation about the proton cannon, actually, of Iron Legionnaire.
I like it, but it's not very good.
Yeah, I like the gameplay of
Mm-hmm.
the proton cannon is really how to say it is a lot of movement. You gotta move a lot around the map. You gotta do you want to choose the right positioning. It's really fun to play, but it can't keep up with the lasers. The
I
damage
find the
is
hard part with the proton cannon is you're focusing so much on trying to hit the slow on the right target, like at least for me, because I know that that's the most I can add to the team. So I always try to slow the person that's like, and like Blaze was saying, it causes you to move around on the map way too much, and you end up like out of position sometimes, you know? Like whereas laser and drones, it's a lot easier to stay like in doing the DPS job.
Yeah, that's why I don't care about using the heavy attack to slow the. It should be done. It's a right thing to do, but actually, as a main Iron Man, I want to do damage. I want to whoop at the ass of the people. So, I don't care. I don't care if I slow them or not. I want to execute. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
yeah, the hardest the thing is that there is no damage at all. Because if we compare the heavy attack of the lasers, uh, in my situation, it does over 300 damage, the heavy attack of the lasers.
Mhm.
And you gotta plus the burn. There is also the burn made by
Yeah.
the napalm loaders. So 300 damage plus 200 of the burn, in total 500. Okay. uh, Actually is useless to play the napalm loaders with the proto cannon because you do only one attack, because as you know, the lasers heavy attack can penetrate the people, so you can hit like three guys on the same streak. So
Yeah. If
you
they're all
can
like
hit,
stacked up.
yeah, you can hit all of them. The proto cannon is only one hit, about 200 damage, so is can't be compared.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's really it's weak. It's weak. I need that the proto cannon needs a big buff on the heavy attack, and I would buff also the SP2. Yeah,
Well,
because the
everyone was
SP2.
mad when the SP3 was like assassinating people and they nerfed it, but like that's what I thought it was supposed to be for.
Yeah. That was like the best part about it.
Yeah,
And I
like
can't-
everything else was kind of pointless, so I kind of thought that the SP3
Yeah,
was the important part. And like it's really easy to dodge. It really is. You just have to time it right. So like it wasn't too
yeah,
overpowered in my opinion. They nerfed it too soon, I think.
yeah. They nerfed it, and actually the proto cannon sucks. I don't play. I can't play it. I love playing it, but you just can't.
I went from an epic proton cannon to a 2-star laser last night and was doing way more as a 2-star laser than
Yeah.
I was with my proton cannon.
Actually, I like to test. I like to test the synergies, the characters in deathmatch, where is everything balanced. So,
Mhm.
and I see that there is a great difference in damage. Even if most of the times you find bots or weak players, new guys, stuff like that, but you can see actually the damage, their life go down. With the lasers, you just fly in, you throw an SP2 and you melt them. With the proto cannon, you can see that you miss a lot of damage. You
Yeah.
miss a
It's
lot.
hard to land the SP2.
The SP2, even if you land the SP2, the damage is weak compared to even drones, because with the drones SP2, you place the cage, you find the player that passed over the cage 2 times, you do the same damage. And plus
Oh
you
yeah.
have a huge slowdown, a huge uh, CC, because it's a CC. And also, if you compare the heavy attack drones, they also over 1k damage with the heavy attack. It's
Oh
crazy.
yeah. It's really nice.
That's
So
crazy.
if you are playing your laser Iron Man laser, what stats are you looking for on your gear?
Fuel re-entry. The stats. In my
The stats,
opinion, hit damage. Of course, you want hit damage, and I personally look for also special power, if you can, special power or
For laser?
yeah,
Yep.
for laser, because you want to hit the SP2 and SP3 as hard as you can. So both hit damage and special power are good, and yeah, and crit. Of course, the crit is crazy because the crit with the head synergy, beginner's luck, that's increase your heavy attack and special by 24%. If you improve your crit damage, you could do a lot of damage, bro. You can see your crit go very, very high. You
Yeah. I
fly
played
around
around
the
with it a
map,
couple
you
times.
fly around the map, you land You hit, you crit, and you do a lot of damage. So personally, I would say first hit damage, hit power is the most important, hit power, because it improves all your abilities. After that, you want with the lasers, in my opinion, special power, because it increases your SP2 and your SP3. That's the main damage, yeah. And then you want to crit power. Those are the stats that you want.
Thank you, Blaze.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm working on my.
For drones, I don't know if it's just me, but I found instead of focusing as much on special power, I focused on heavy power.
Yeah, sure, right, of course, 100%. Yeah, I was talking special
and
power
still
is only for
crit power as well.
special power is for lasers and for protocannon also. Special
Mhm,
power.
mhm.
You want that for lasers and protocannon. Heavy attack
Oh,
and
yeah.
a light attack for drones all day. Along with hit power, that's the most important overall. You want hit
Yep.
power. Yeah, it's the most important thing actually. That's it for Iron Man. Yeah. I think
Yeah.
that I can't talk about the others because it's not my yard.
I gotta do a Spidey-Man video soon, but
Yeah,
gotta talk
go
to,
ahead.
to Zimba and stuff soon. I'm loving the Spidey. All right, let's hop into the next topic, though.
Yeah. Is there anything you guys want to see coming up in the future of the game? So
Go ahead,
they just
Boons.
had the Arena Conquest thing happen. It was super fun, I think. I'm not sure if the whole community felt the same way as me, but I really liked it.
It was frustrating, but it was fun.
And the new Heroic Quest was also fairly fun. But yeah, anything else you guys think? They actually have kind of been listening to us because we suggested the Arena Conquest event last week's podcast, and then
They did
magically on Friday it was up. You know?
Yeah. So they're listening. So if you
They're
guys
listening,
have
yeah.
any good suggestions,
Go, Foons. It's your turn.
Yeah, this is my turn.
Uh-huh.
So I think I don't know what I would like to see is new characters. I think that's one. New heroes. That's it makes the game more exciting, and you're gonna have to see like different comps, different team combinations happening. So that will bring a big change. What I would like to see is maybe that we can go over the 1250, or maybe something where if you are playing the 1250, that there's like another ranking for like, okay, winning that amount of games or something, and that you get rewarded for winning that amount of games, just to see like who's on the leaderboard. For that, I think that will be very competitive.
Yes.
I would like to see more AU players. So they need to really, get the marketing promoting and this game, and have more AU players coming around for this game, because you won't see many playing this. The game is not that popular in what I can see in the EU countries.
And I know MOBAs are actually really popular with EU players, so I'm surprised that this game's not
Yeah.
doing
and it's
very well.
wonderful. So like they can go far. They gotta. I think we do need to focus though for future on the game stuff. We really need to focus on what's gonna bring new players in. It sucks being stuck, but it'd be a lot less crappy if we were playing different people in the arena.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think.
Well, that is
players.
the thing, to bring new players. The state of the game right now is not possible, because we
Yeah.
have already discussed it, that
Yep.
it's
Mhm.
almost impossible to climb the rankings. With a character, not getting that catalyst, and having less gear, and there's a lot that is coming, that you need to get to that stage. So
Mhm.
they
Yeah.
need like either like some kind of competition where you can only join in with like to like 1K battle rating maybe, or something like that, and then
Yeah.
after you reach 1K, that you can match up with against 1250 players or something, so that at least is like a little bit equal.
Mhm, mhm.
I have
It's
another
gonna
thing too. I'm not sure if
Yeah.
what you guys think. I more want to ask. Do you guys think that they should move the matchmaking up to maybe like 4 minutes, so you don't DC, or are you guys fine with just readying again?
I
um
mean, the people will will get bored anyway to wait. It's going to
Mhm.
delete and start to search again, hoping for
Yeah, I
better
think it
luck.
might
So
be maybe even like 10 minutes waiting. I mean, you're just gonna, if you want to play, you're just gonna rejoin anyways.
yeah,
And
Okay, true.
if you're gonna cut down like what I said, like for example, the battle rating to like 1K, and that you can, if you're 1250, only just fight people, against a rating who are above 1K to 1250. Yeah, it is gonna take a longer time to find a matchmaking, but it will be like more challenging matches than what you see now because. Sometimes you're just playing the game, you just go out on automatic pilot. You use a totally different strategy against guys who have like less gear than somebody who's like fully geared, a fully geared team.
Mhm.
Yep, for sure.
And I think there'd be a lot more people hitting that 1,000 if they weren't getting crushed by 1250s.
Yes,
Like maybe
definitely
they
for
would get
sure.
into the 1,000 bracket and drop right away again, but they wouldn't be as discouraged because they'd slowly be getting closer and closer, doing better in that 1,000 bracket, right? Rather than being at 900 and trying to
Yeah,
grind for 3 hours and going all the way down to 800 because they're playing 1250s and stuff.
yeah. Because maybe even like if they reach the 1K, they might even like give them out like a full set, a rare full set or something, with like synergies on it. It can just be random synergies, but at least they got something to enter the competition. To fight like for the top, because they need something to play in that competition. It is
They
going to
do
be
something
hard.
like that from newcomer to recruit, right? Well, I think when you get to recruit, they give you like a full set of gear for the
I
guy.
think they do, yeah. So they
It's
should
crappy
do,
gear, but at least it's gear.
maybe they should do that for Defender too
Yeah,
then.
they should just give like a full set away, for the whole character. It would be better than just one piece of gear.
And we all know one full set is nowhere near making a good champ. Like you
No,
gotta keep trying so that at least gives them a starting point and it doesn't give them like this crazy OP like advantage either.
Oh,
we lost
seems
phones.
yeah, oh, here it
Oh,
is.
there's Fritz.
Welcome back, brother. We missed you.
I know one thing that happened recently was that they added the two new weapons, the proton cannon and the wind flail. Do you think that adding a third weapon to all the characters could maybe change the meta up a little bit, make it more fun?
I mean, all these efforts to bring in new weapons and stuff like that, they should focus on different things, in my opinion, because the
Mhm.
characters are good, are fun to play. I don't get bored to play my Iron Man or other characters. What I'm bored to do is play always the same mode, the same modality, always arena conquest. I think that they should focus more on this situation. Maybe bring it inside the game a 5 versus 5 as example.
That'd be
It
very
would
fun,
be
yes.
more chaotic, but it could be great. A five
Yep.
versus five, a different mode, a different map. I think that a new game mode would be crazy good and would attract a lot of people more than new weapons, because actually we had new weapons on Iron Man and Storm, and they both sucks in my opinion, of course, but they suck. So once I get them, I play. I see that they are not enough good to win. They are not game changing. I park them then, and I go back to play lasers. And all the efforts of the developers are in my bag. Actually, they're in my back. You know what I mean?
Yep.
They
Mhm,
are
Yep.
yep.
only the figure of I don't know what's a canon. That's all. That's all your update, Kabam. Is in my backpack, and then I never use it because it can't keep up with the others. So
Mhm.
Yep.
focus on different things. Focus on versus 5 mode, ranking system. Maybe if you remove the 1250 uh, limit and let people go ahead, maybe it's more challenging. Maybe go
And
over
it'll
to,
help the lower players.
yeah, and you also should make that. I know that you don't have the enough players to do it, but don't make me fight against 900 dudes, 1K dudes, because they can't win. Let's be
Well,
honest.
1K is okay, kind of, but yeah, 900s is stretching it a little far.
I
Mm.
think that I never lost to 1K dude in my life, to be honest. I don't. I can't remember. I'm sorry if it happened, but yeah. Uh,
I've had the odd game, but those are the guys that are powered up and will be 1250 soon because they're 1400 gear level or 1300 gear level.
I know I
Yeah.
beat I Avenged, Swollen, and someone else on my 950 Captain America
yeah,
yesterday.
but you are still a
and
top dog.
they were all on their mains, right?
Yeah, but you are still a top dog, bro. So that's the point. You have already a
Yeah,
1250
it's different than just
character, many
random.
1250 character. It's different
I was getting carried.
if you find a 900 dude that doesn't have a 1250 character.
Yeah,
really
it's way
different.
different. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, they don't
me
have
and
the
Foons
gear built up.
just go forward and nuke them without strategy. it's easy. It's easier.
Yeah.
Mostly
I
those
want a
players.
new game mode. I want a 5 versus 5 with the ranking system. I want to get 1250, not only in 3 versus 3, but also 5 versus 5. What do you think about this?
For
You
sure.
start
Yeah.
from
I
zero.
think a new game mode would
Yeah.
be really nice.
Even if they added a ranking system to deathmatch, that would add
Yo, I'd be
something
down
new
for
for
that.
people
Yeah,
to push into,
also,
right?
yeah.
I'd be down for that.
I
That's
love
a really good
deathmatch.
Yeah,
suggestion.
sure, of course.
That is a
Yeah.
yo, kabam. That's an easy one.
Yeah, that's an easy one, right?
And
But
actually, I did see a new map, Blaze. Going back to what you
yeah,
said before, they are releasing a new map. Captain America doesn't have any maps yet for the Patriot Garrison. So
Yeah.
I seen a deathmatch map that was made up for the Patriot Garrison, and I assume it's going to be a whole set of maps.
so also
Oh.
to answer to the request that you said about the third weapon for the others, actually we are talking about Cap that has 2 shields, one sucks, nobody used it, and who used it dies, and the other one is the only used. We
Mhm.
have I don't know, we have Storm that get destroyed, lightning storm get destroyed,
Yeah.
is
It's just
unusable
Yeah, I had to
right
throw my
now.
lightning away.
Yeah.
SS, we just don't talk about SS. We need 1 hour to talk only about the SS that get destroyed by the nerf.
Yeah.
I find Disciple seems to be working for a lot of people now. Not that she's great or anything, but it seems like if
Yeah,
you get Disciple and he's focused on Mystic Power, you can heal up really well. You can be ticking
I
to like
played with the
86,
Renzo
87.
today. Today I played with the Renzo and the Vige. We matched up against the Slayer, Spider Axe. We had a hell of a match, and I saw Renzo back as the Renzo before the patch. Who doesn't know who's Renzo? Renzo is probably one of the best SS player of the game. And he said,
The
"Yo,
Orb
bro, I
SS.
probably found a new build for my SS, but it still is not on the same level as before."
It's still
So
not the same. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you
yeah,
gotta
let's
focus
speak.
Mystic Power and that Disciple set. You have to have the
Yeah, but
Disciple cape.
what I'm trying to say is fix the weapons that you have now. Don't try to bring other bullshit into the
Weapons
game
in.
because you got many weapons that really suck. Actually, more than
Yep.
one. And yeah, give me a new mode, a new game mode, and maybe a ranking system on the deathmatch because I want to compete. Actually, I'm not competing right now.
I
When
do
I'm
want to
doing
really hammer
survival,
that deathmatch point home. That's a really good point.
yeah,
Yeah, a ranking system implemented on there should not be too difficult, and that would be really fun.
you know why they want to do that? Because actually, it's not worth spending money for the deathmatch because
Yeah,
everything
because
is
your gear
balanced
doesn't work.
there. Yeah,
Problem with
I'm
the
sorry
gear-based
for
game.
that. I'm sorry. I
yeah,
speak
no,
only the
you're
truth.
right. I get it. No,
Uh,
it's true.
The
so
synergies do
you
work
want?
The
still.
synergies matter.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still not.
You're right. You're right. You're right.
Just
The
bring
synergies
into
even
the
get
game.
better.
I want to give you money, Kabam. Okay, you want the
I
money.
give
We
you
want to
lots
give
of
you
money,
money.
Kabam. No problem.
So let's bring 5 versus 5. I want a 5 versus 5 so bad. Yeah,
Yeah, they do
that
have
would be
bigger
great.
maps too. The stronghold maps are really big.
Yeah, you could do 5v5 on the
So you
stronghold
could
maps, easy.
you could do 10v10 on the stronghold maps are huge.
Yeah, you can also bring a 5 versus 5 deathmatch inside the 3 versus 3 arena
my God,
without
that's crazy.
capturing. Yeah, and the first that you have 5 minutes. In 5 minutes, you have to do as much skill as you can, and who has the most kills at the end of the game wins. What do you think about that?
Everyone just getting popped off.
Yeah, 5 versus 5 deathmatch inside the 3 versus 3 arena without capturing the points.
Oh, if no
Ah.
capture, so you have the whole map, so you can fall back.
Oh my God, the
But
people
the-
would just get pushed right into there.
I don't know. It'd be interesting. I do
It'd be
really
fun.
like. I do really like the 5v5 thing, like in a different
Yeah,
map. I think that's really good.
yeah.
For sure,
Actually,
5v5 is
what I
awesome.
did for Kabam is bringing out the idea for a new character. I don't know if you hear up about the Black Widow and Hawkeye. I did that 2 months ago.
I read that. Yeah.
Yeah. I told them how to fix arc charges set for Iron Man, and it will work. Trust me, it will be enough to bring it to the same level of lasers. I'm telling
Yep.
you how to bring what you have to bring inside the game. So just hire me. I'm free. Hire me. I come to work for you, and GG. We do the things together.
We get this
What do
game
you think?
working.
I can move to Canada. No problems.
I didn't. Kabam's not.
I don't know. We put pineapple on our pizza over here. I don't know if you like.
That's disgusting. No, we don't. Only
No,
crazy Canadians.
I will never eat that. Yeah, that's so.
Okay. So that was a good podcast, actually. You guys have
Yeah.
any last words you want to toss out there?
Foons, especially. Sorry.
Was that sorry?
I said, do you have any last words that you want to toss out?
No, just thank you for inviting me. I mean, we had a good discussion about different topics, and yeah, we all hope that the game is gonna last long, and
Yep.
for some improvements, because yeah, that's what it really needs to keep that existence, right?
Yeah, we all love the game, and we want to see it succeed. That's for sure.
Yep. Thank you guys so much for
Yeah.
coming. We appreciate you so much. You guys helped
Thank
make
you.
this. This is how we can do this podcast, is because of y'all. So we're gonna take a quick break here, and then we're gonna play some MRock. So
Yep.
we'll see y'all in a minute.
See ya. See
All
you
right,
to the
see you
arena.
later. Bye bye.
See ya.
Okay.